All right, what is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. So excited to be back with you. And it's the return of Lin Rountree. He's an incredible talent by way of Motown. That's right, Detroit is in the house. And he joined us, about 35 weeks ago. So it's so great to have him back. He's coming off a #1 tune, which he played for us the last time he was with us. And now he has a brand new single out. It's called Release. And he's going to perform that for you. And also, I got a chance to sit down with him and just catch up and see what is new in the world of Lin. So excited to share that with you guys. And speaking of which, do us a favor, click share. We're always just looking to spread the good vibes. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to follow Adam Holly Artist page. And as many of you know, huge thanks to those who have already decided to be a part of my Indiegogo. I'm doing a crowdfunding campaign for the new album. It drops September 10th, but you can get it well before the release if you jump on my Indiegogo page. So the link is in the description. I also have it in the comments. And if you already contributed, thank you. And do me a favor and just share that maybe on your social media or with your friends. And we just want to make this happen and have the best possible album number 4. So really appreciate you guys. But we want to get straight to the music. And I put together yet another track for you guys, never before performed by me on this show or really live either. So it is a world premiere. It's a favorite tune of mine from John Legend. And I did a little Latin vibe with it. It's called Ordinary People. Just to get y'all warmed up before we hear from Lin Roundtree. just a little bit of John Legend to get us started on a Wednesday. As I mentioned, we have the incredible Lin Rountree in the house, but just a little bit of housekeeping. If you want to help us out, we make that super easy. I see you guys already jumping on the stars. Thank you so much. That's how we keep the show going and keep adding to the technology and just bringing you a better and better broadcast each week. So many thanks to you guys for over the last 63 weeks helping out. You can click the link in the description for PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Of course, we have stars, and if you want to be a part of the new project, now we have that link for the Indiegogo. So thank you guys in advance, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy some time with Lin Rountree.
All right, what's up, Lynn? How you doing, man?
What's up, Adam? How you feeling, man? It's good. It's good to be out of this stuff, man. Almost.
I know, right? Yeah, we're plowing ahead slowly but surely. But I was on your social media, man. I've seen some dates pop up, man. It looks like you're gonna be getting out there.
I'm trying to be like you. You know what I mean? Because you got all the dates, man. So you need to you can share the love whenever you want. But no, man, I'm grateful for all the dates that I have. I'm grateful for all the promoters out there that are thinking about getting Lin Roundtree in, and it's just a blessing to be able to come out on the other side of this, the horrible year that everybody had to experience. So it wasn't just just me or just you. Everybody went through the same thing, but we're just blessed to be able to come out, one, alive, because a lot of people, we got to send our love to people who have lost loved ones in 2020 because of the virus, but we have to be grateful and thankful we're still alive, and thankful we're able to continue to do what we loved and that we persevered. So that's why I tell all the people now, you're going to get some great music, some great shows. We may be a little rusty, but it's all good. We're all together. You're just learning how to dance again. We're learning how to play again, but we're all going to do it together.
Man, tell me about it. I was just in Phoenix, and this is an event that you have done as well. Man, I thought I was going to pass out. I hadn't done a 90 before, let alone in 90-degree weather. It's been...
That's why I'm glad you a few weeks after
15 months since I had to do that.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Because people don't realize that just like a sporting event, I mean, just like athletes, getting ready to play a game, we have pre-show routines. And when you're constantly doing it, you don't really think about it because this is something that's just normal for you. But when you haven't done it in an entire year almost, it is like riding a bike, but you're not as sharp. So the things that there's so much that goes into a live show as far as equipment, as far as the music, as far as the band, as far as your endurance. I know with you, it's your hand. With me, it's my lips and my endurance to be able to play a whole 90-minute show. And then just because you can't replicate that in practice, you can't replicate that down here in the studio or in the basement. Only way you can get that is, again, by repetition. That's why they say football players, they need reps. You need reps. And you can't get that game speed unless you have the reps, or unless you actually go into a game and really see how fast it is, because it is. When you get on stage, things move really fast. And so you have to be sharp. And like you said, it's a process.
You also mentioned the music to look forward to. I'm in the middle of finishing the next project, but yours is just about to come out. And man, I did not realize till the pre-interview, the single that you played the last time you came on AH Live has lasted almost a full year on the radio. Fluid. It was an incredible tune. Went to #1, and aptly, you have titled the new album Fluid as well.
The new album, Fluid.
There it is. Oh man, it is such a great tune, man. And I imagine the album. Tell us about the rest of the record. Or do we have some more great grooves like that to look forward to?
Oh yeah, man. We got great grooves. We got great production on it. The next single that's coming out now, I get tongue tied because the next single is called Release. So my next release is Release, and I didn't think about that when promoting the CD, or when thinking about promoting the single, that we're going to have to call it, figure out a way to call the release a release. But I named it that because it's going to be my first single coming out of the pandemic and out of everybody being kind of shut down. And I know everybody's feeling a sigh of, I mean, I know we're still cautious and we're still, you know, masking up hopefully everywhere we go. We're getting our vaccines together and all the other good stuff. But there is a sigh of relief now that we can kind of get back out. And so it's just a release of exasperation. We had so much music pent up. Now we're able to get it out. We were sitting on top of a lot of these records, and now they're able to kind of come out. So that's why we call the single Release, and it's a humping track, man. I love it. And when he was I think we were gonna go with another single, but when we got that single together, single produced by Michael Broning, written and produced by Michael Broning. Of course, Mel Brown is on it, Freddie Fox is on guitar. And when we heard this thing, when we got together today, we gotta put this one out first. We gotta put this out before the other single, because we just think it's just banging, and it's a good tune. It's upbeat, but it's got a groove. It's got some tricky chord changes to it, but the chord changes are such that you don't even know they're changing because the song sounds so simple, and that's what we wanted. We wanted a simple song with some texture and some different colors in it. So it's and we're getting a lot of good feedback. So I'm excited about it.
Release. Back into the world. Let's go.
CD Fluid is finally going to hit the market. We got some great guest appearances on there by Miss Lindsay Webster. We got a dope soul track, man. That's when I met Lindsay a couple times, but I got to hang out with her for the first time when we did a Portugal gig together, and we ate breakfast together, and hung out with her and Keith and all the people, and we were just brainstorming. I said, man, your vibe is so unique. You've got a unique, soulful voice. I love these alto, soprano type voices, man, that just cut through the music, and she's got it. And so, I just couldn't wrap my head around, what I was hearing, until I was able to get home and get a track down. I said, hey, she'd be the perfect person for this thing. So it's a song called Me For Me. We also got Selena Albright. We did some chanting with her on a song that's produced by Chris Big Dog Davis, and we're taking it back to that George Duke vibe where he's got chanting in the back and chorus lines in the back, but not necessarily a verse and actual chorus verse structure. She's just kind of chanting, but she's got such a beautiful voice, and she's very spiritual in her delivery. In terms of how she sounds, and I've got a lot of other guests. I got Skinny Hightower, label mate. We're playing on a track. Gary Honor, who's another label mate, playing on this cranking track.
One thing I'm noticing, and we talked about this a little bit earlier before we got on camera, was you keep bringing up the word soul, and I just really enjoy your style because it's unique. It's not something we see in the jazz genre as much. There's some amazing trumpet players out there, Chris Bodie, Rick Braun, etc. But you definitely have carved a path and a vibe. I mean, speak on that a little bit, just the direction of your music.
Well, I am a neo soul guy at heart. You know what I mean? I grew up on hip hop, R&B, quartet gospel was going, running rampant throughout my house growing up, and just straight old school R&B. Plus, being from Detroit, or having moved to Detroit at a young age, and then experienced all the Motown and experienced all the I didn't experience Motown, but I experienced the vibe. All the players when I first moved here were still around. People that played on these records, and so you go to these jam sessions, and these are R&B jam sessions, and you're getting up playing R&B tunes. But it's really heavy in jazz as well. So you got that mix. You got a lot of the jazz players that are playing this R&B music. But then when soul came out, when the whole D'Angelo and Erykah Badu and all that, I was done. That was it. That's me. That's my vibe. And so I always wanted to write music like that.
You certainly are doing it, and we can't wait for the 7th edition. This album coming up, Fluid. We already know the title track is killer, so yeah. I'm sure
that's scary too. When you put a track out like that a whole year, again, I know we talk, but I mean, you put that out a year ahead of the album, and it does well. Well, then the pressure's on to make sure all the songs live up to that particular song, especially if you're going to call the album Fluid. So the expectations were there. So I'm just hoping and praying that your listeners and all the people that are listening to me and that follow me appreciate the level that we tried to achieve on this record, to match the groove and the vibe of Fluid.
Definitely. No, well, I can't wait to hear it. And speaking of following you, just remind us one more time where we can find you and check out the new record.
Yep, LinRountree.com is where you start. You can sometimes end, but it takes you to you'll see, you'll be able to sign up for my newsletter. That's really important because I'll try to do better at putting out more regular newsletters, but I try to get at least once, a couple times a quarter, to give you an idea of what I'm doing, where I'll be. You can also log in and sign up to you can follow me on any one of the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. It's all L Roundtree, Roundtree without a D, or Lin Roundtree, and I'd be happy. I answer all of my my posts, and I try to be as interactive as possible as I can be. So you're getting to talk to me if you do reach out eventually. So I just appreciate the love, appreciate the, following me. I appreciate you supporting the music. Of course, the music will be available. The single release is available now on iTunes and Amazon and any digital medium. You can stream on Spotify. The whole album will be available on digital medium June 18th.
Perfect. Well, hey, you came out the gate with a #1 hit, so we're looking for the rest of that album. So check it out. The album is fluid, and appreciate you, Lynn, for coming through, man.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it always. Blessings to you, man.
and only Lin Rountree. Man, that was so much fun. Thank you so much, Lin, for making the time for a little conversation, and we got to hear his new single release. And you know what? I figured, let me go back in the archives all the way back, like I said, about 35 weeks, and grab that duet we did, For Your Love. What a great tune. That's the tune that launched Lin's career, and it was so much fun jamming with him. So I figure, hey, why waste it? Let's take another look at that. So so much fun. Thank you, Lin. Appreciate it. And you guys know what time it is. It's time to bring in my lovely wife, Kat, with the Cat Cam. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
My 13-year bride.
Right. Yes, 13-year bride.
We just celebrated 13 years on Sunday, and we have pictures to show for it. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to cut you off. You probably have some info from the feed, right? What are the people saying out there about Lin?
Well, everyone loved Lin,
okay,
and they are so excited for the new album.
Yes.
So let's see. Okay. During your interview with Lin, Lori Erickson says, "Love your music. Do I spot a lava lamp on your table?" Asking that about Lin. I did spot the lava lamp as well.
Yeah.
And then Kat Finn says, "Love the salt and pepper look." I think he had the salt and pepper in his beard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Grown and sexy.
Jocelyn Roach says, "Lin was my first show at the Tin Pan in Richmond, Virginia.
Yes.
And he was awesome."
Oh, that is such a cool venue. I've had the good fortune of doing it 2 times down there in Richmond, and we're talking about me coming back in February. So if you're anywhere near Richmond, look out for that. I think it's late February 2022.
And then when you guys were talking about the show in Phoenix, the venue that was in Phoenix, when it was like outside.
Yes.
And you were saying how hot it was, and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad that you went a couple of weeks
right
after."
I was like, dang, thanks, Lin.
And then you guys got into talking about how you kind of have to get back in shape of performing, especially for a certain amount of time on stage. And I felt the same exact way.
Oh, yeah.
When we were in Phoenix, I was like so out of breath. I couldn't hold like any long notes. And just like dancing and running around the stage, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so tired.
No, it's pretty wild, but it's so great to be back. And that's a perfect segue. Real quick, I'll jump over to the tour schedule. I got some updates for you guys from last week. As you know, the next show is in Melbourne, Florida. Hope you all can make it. It is going to be so much fun. July 10th, that's a Saturday. Grab your tickets, brevardmusicgroup.com. Hanging out with Roland. Got a killer band down there, the Reinhardts, Tim George. And a lot of these we've been talking about the last several weeks, but if you want to know more about my tour schedule, just shoot on over to adamholly.com. I've got all of these up here. I do have one that I was kind of sad to mention. The one in Raleigh just got canceled, the Tri-Groove Festival. So I remember last week a bunch of people said they were going to see me there. So they're postponing to 2022. So hope to see you guys there. And we got a ton of them. We're going to Texas to wrap up the year. Fort Worth, that just went on sale. So if you're down there, get your tickets. And hope to see you guys on the road. All right, back to you, Kat.
Oh, and Myra Graham Scott, she just asked, but you just answered. She said, "Are you still doing the show in Raleigh?" But he just explained that. Okay, so when Lin was playing the song Release, which is the new song from his new album, right? So Connie Epley says, "Love the funky vibe." Myra Graham Scott said, "This is Stepper's vibe," which is so true. I could totally hear that.
Definitely.
Valerie Kovac says, "Great groove, Lin." Sunny Fink says, "Lin sounds terrific. The groove is off the chain." And then Jean Scott Keller says, "My wife's flipping out. She wants this CD now."
Yeah, so it comes. If I was reading the dates right, I think he said the 18th. So that's in 2 days. So you can definitely, the way that all of these services work, you can pre-order. You can officially listen Friday, obviously digitally, but you should be able to pre-order it now. So check it out. Fluid.
Yeah. And that was a really nice song. And I did feel all of the vibes, the step vibes, all the grooves. Yep. I totally felt it.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. And then we, of course, have all of our shout outs where people are love to shout out where they're watching from. So we, of course, have Cece watching in London. Hi.
What's up?
I think there's someone else watching in London, too. But
Burning the midnight oil over there.
I know. I think it's super early in the morning.
Okay.
She always says, and I always forget.
I think 3 or something like that.
But thank you so much for staying up and watching.
Yeah, much appreciated.
I know. And then I did see Julian Vaughn in here a little bit.
Oh, what's up, Julian?
If you're still in here, hi, Julian.
All right.
And then we have Willie Lee and Leon says sending hugs and kisses from Prince George, Virginia.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you all in Norfolk. August 21st.
Michelle Dahl-Wins is watching from Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then we have Tremaine Spivey Mosley in Woodstock, Georgia.
Oh, all right. Very cool.
And then I think I saw a few people watching from Detroit, watching in to see Lynn.
You know, Lynn's got his peeps too dropping in, so very cool.
Yeah, and then so many people were saying when the first time they saw him perform, one person I think said they saw him at Spags in like 2013 or something like that. So people were dropping in where they had first seen him or the last time they saw him.
Very cool. Spagattini. I'll be there September 11th. That's the CD release. SoCal.
September 11th.
Get your tickets. It's on sale now.
And let me see. Oh, people are just chatting in the comments with each other about tickets that they bought and if they'll see each other at certain shows.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so Cece in London says, thank you. It's 2:42 a.m., but I'm booked on my jazz clubbers now.
Oh, that is so awesome.
So cute.
We'll appreciate you for hanging in there. That's killer.
And then Lori Erickson, she's just chiming in and letting us know she's watching from Brea. Which is like right down the and you know what, Lori, I was like right by you yesterday and today because yesterday I was at Brea Mall. I was shopping. I was Father's Day gift shopping for you, Adam.
Good. I like the sound of that.
So I went to Brea Mall because I had to go to Nordstrom because they closed down the Nordstrom that's here by us. So they closed kind of like in the beginning of our shutdown in the pandemic.
Okay.
So I had to go to Nordstrom, and then today I made the trek over to South Coast Plaza.
Okay.
Adam.
All right. Very nice. I like it.
I was over in your area, Lori.
Awesome.
So I think that's it for our... Oh, and so many people were saying that they loved the interview with Lynn because he did touch on a lot of stuff that I guess is new to them because it was kind of completely different from the last time he was on the show.
For sure.
And talked about a lot of different things. So
yeah, well, he's got the new record. You know, back then we did a little bit more bio on him and talked about the single, but now he's got another, 9 tracks or so to share with us. So it's always good to catch up, especially after, that at least half a year. I think it's longer though. I think it's about 7 or 8 months since we last saw him. So always good to catch up.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you have
Perfect.
next for us?
Well, we have a bunch of pictures. We didn't get to any pictures last week. We have
I didn't realize you didn't have photos
this week from what's going on at our abode. So first of all, as I mentioned, we celebrated 13 years on Sunday. Here is the wedding photo. We got married in Newport Beach on a yacht, and it's very splendid. I always wanted a white tux, so I didn't buy it, but I did rent it for a day. And so we celebrated, and we did by I went all the way over to Hollywood after church, and grabbed a gourmet meal for us from our favorite restaurant. It's called Mozza. And it was so tasty.
Good.
We had Napoli-style pizza. We had lasagna. We had the whole hors d'oeuvres, salami and burrata.
Some salad.
Prosecco, red wine, salad, insalata.
Some gelato. It just was so amazing. I think my favorite part was the Prosecco and wine and peas.
Yeah. No, we're still, by the time we had the Prosecco, we barely made it through half of the wine. So we've been kind of working on the wine. And then in addition, wait a second. We got mixed up here on my, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, here is our gifts from our lovely son, Adam Jr., and he got me a Chipotle gift card and got Tani a Nordstrom gift card and an awesome card. So we were just so grateful for that.
He's so cute.
And he went out the night before, and then he was using his ATM card and whatnot. So it was pretty cool. Okay, so we also are doing our redecorating of the kitchen. So this is the before, and then we have been really busy, mostly.
Okay, well,
Cat.
let me.
Okay.
So I ordered these new shaker doors because, as you can see, the old doors were just not gonna do. Okay, so Adam, you can switch. Thank you. So here's some doors. These are like the decorative doors that are gonna go, or that are on either side of the microwave. So you can see they're open. And then I also ordered some mullions, which are the decorative pieces that you put inside of the door.
And then this is you getting, so you had to hang them up in order to paint them.
Yeah, so I was painting them. I did some paint sprayer work, and then I also did some rolling work, but I had to hang the doors. And so I put these little screws in there, and I put hangers on them, and then I got these like clothes racks from Target and hung them up, and I made a makeshift drying station with a ladder and our trash cans in the front.
And then this is me putting them on. It was pretty challenging trying to line them up. I don't know if anyone out there has tried to do this before, to put these cupboards on, but it was pretty challenging. And little Adam also got in the act. Here he is. Looks like he's doing a lunge of some sort. And so as we move forward, you can now see this.
So
Well,
this
it's not the
is-
final result.
Yeah, it's not the final result. I still have like a lot of work I have to do. I have to like do some caulking in some areas, clean up the paint. We have to put the drawer fronts on. I have to do a few more like coats of paint on some of them with the roller. And then you can see by the microwave, the mullion decorative doors, usually people do clear glass, but we're gonna do mirror. So you can see one of them has the mirror in it. So we have to finish putting them in the other ones, and then the hardware we have to put on. And then my pendant lights still aren't here that we're hanging over the island. So still a little bit of work.
But it's coming along. It's
coming
looking
along.
gorgeous, and it feels so open and airy. You know, just the color change and the new design. So it's very, very cool. This is your landing that you put together.
Oh, the staircase landing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you had seen the black wall when it was just a bare and there was nothing there
when
yet.
it was just a wall.
So there's the landing, and that's a painting one of my really good friends painted for us. And just some decorations. So
Yeah. So it turned out so cool. I feel like we're in a hotel now.
yes.
And then here are the chairs. It took, what, 8 months for these to show up? It took quite a while, but they turned out really, really cool. And then we finally have some progress on the pool and the jacuzzi in the backyard. They have been toiling away in the heat. By the way, it's about 100 degrees here. So
And
we're
they're
getting
doing
some
the
progress.
plumbing.
Yeah, they're doing the plumbing. So they're running the lines for the water and also for the gas. So it's coming together. So that is the updates for the Holly Manor. And so we're moving along and
Very slowly.
Yeah, it's one thing at a time. We haven't even touched the dining room. Don't even ask about the dining room. But the kitchen is definitely taking shape. The backyard, probably a couple months still. But,
yeah, the backyard has a little ways to go. But I'm excited for the pool. Adam keeps teasing and says that we will be swimming sometime in 2022 because the pool contractors have been taking longer. They said it would take like 8 to 12 weeks. It's been 8 weeks, but they've been delayed 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And so the plumbing.
I'm not holding my breath.
The plumbing that should have happened like
Three
2 or
weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago
Yeah.
is happening yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm just ready to swim.
Yeah,
already.
well, especially right now. It's been 100 every day. So
So yeah.
Well, do we have any Ask Adam questions?
We do.
Okay.
Okay, so Myra Graham Scott, she says, what artist influenced you to play guitar, and what other instruments do you play?
That's a great question. Well, as many of you know that have been watching, one of the things that got me interested in music was my parents' record collection. They had vinyl records, and it was just such a magical feeling, just putting that record on the record player, putting the needle down. And so I was listening to Earth, Wind & Fire, Elvis, the Beatles, a lot of oldies, a lot of 60s, 70s, 80s. And so for whatever reason, there wasn't any guitar player in particular, but I just heard the guitar in all those recordings and was just gravitated towards it immediately. But over the years, I've ended up having a ton of influences, namely George Benson, Wes Montgomery for jazz, Robin Ford for more blues, all the Kings, B.B. King, Freddie King, Albert King, especially for blues, Jimi Hendrix. So a ton of different influences, but for my records, which are namely contemporary jazz, definitely I draw from Benson and from Wes Montgomery primarily.
And then JB Williams says, will you and Kat surprise us at Majace 2021 in Asheville?
Oh gosh. No, but Marcus has mentioned several times that he is thinking about having me in 2022. So it's up to you guys to let him know you want to see me back next year, because we would love to come back. And Kat didn't make it this last time, so we'd really like to get her to come out and hang out in Asheville. It's such a cool setting there. I think I'm booked that same day anyways, but let Marcus know you want to see us in 2022.
Keith Francis says, get rid of those guys, new pool workers.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
we can't. Well, they've been delayed because of I guess items.
They fell asleep.
Everything. A lot of things have been backlogged or back ordered because of COVID, and so I don't know. A lot of stuff is just kind of slow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Tommy Myers says, is Adam growing his hair again?
Well, it's definitely growing. My last haircut was when I did the photo shoot, and that wasn't even a full cut. That was just a trim. So yeah, I generally cut it real short, then let it grow for 3 months, then cut it real short. So it's kind of always in a state of growth. So I don't think it's going to get as long as it did during the pandemic. Kat probably will sneak up when I'm sleeping and get me with the shears. But no, I'm letting it go. I don't have a haircut scheduled anytime soon. So.
You know, on one of our wedding photos that you posted for the anniversary, I think it was Linda Dickinson, and she said, Kat, Adam has curls in these pictures.
Yeah.
And I said, well, this was even a compromise way back then. So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then I think it's either Mikkel or Michelle Childs. She says, is there any instruments you would like to try?
Oh, and I didn't answer the second part of that question before. I do play also piano and bass quite a bit in the studio. In the past, when I was younger, I played drums, trumpet. I always wanted to play the saxophone, but I tried Adam Jr. saxophone, and it really hurt. So I don't think that's in the cards for me. But I'm really happy with guitar, keyboards, bass. That makes up the whole rhythm section. I don't see myself becoming a great drummer anytime soon. So I'm perfectly happy calling up cats like Eric Valentine and having him just lace the tracks. He does such an amazing job. And so I'm pretty happy with those three right there. It's hard enough trying to keep up with all these great guitar players out here. So I got to keep the chops up.
Robert Zahn, he says, I need you, Kat. Come over and do my kitchen. In honor, I'll call it a catchin'.
Well, so many people have been saying that you got to start your own business. It's just it's just a lot of work. So do you want to be doing that all the time?
It's so funny because one of my girlfriends, she's like an associate, and she was asking me to see a photo of the progress. So I sent her a before picture and like the progress where it's at right now. And she said, "Oh, I just showed my husband. He wants to know who painted your cabinets." And I said, I did. And she's like, we need you to come to our house.
Right, yeah. No, you've been doing an amazing job. Well, the way it happened, Kat has always been handy doing a ton of things herself, DIY. But then she got a quote for just painting the cabinets, and she's like, "Oh no, I can do this myself."
Yeah, I couldn't believe the number that came out of his mouth. But then when I was doing it, I was like, "Yeah, I would charge that much too."
Right? Yeah. No, for sure, for sure.
But I mean, if you can do it, then just do it. And plus, I'm a very, very specific and picky person. I have a very sharp eye.
No.
So, even when they were working on our countertops and backsplash, I was like, "Oh, can you take that off and do it again?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad that you guys think that it looks great.
No, you're doing an amazing job.
It really is a labor of love, and just want to make it beautiful, for us to look at every day.
100%.
So I think. Oh no. Okay, Allison Fader says, Adam, what was the worst gig you ever played and why?
Oh wow. Worst gig. I guess it depends on how you define worst. Like, was it how I played or the conditions?
Let's do both.
I feel really fortunate. I mean, most of the gigs go really well. I will tell you a harrowing one. When I did Sax on the River Sacramento, and by the way, Trish 1, Trish 2 up there, you guys are so amazing. You're so supportive. Really not trying to, it had nothing to do with you. It was the inclement weather. It was raining sideways. And so we kept moving the equipment till we were all in the corner of the stage and just trying to make it through the show without, getting electrocuted. So that was a really wild one. Lovely, lovely event. But the weather was pretty wild. And then, gosh, you want to know when I played bad? I don't want to let anybody know. People might have thought that it was a good show. That's kind of a crazy thing, is that I'll come off stage and I'll think, man, I really didn't have it today. And people will come up to me, man, that was the best I've ever heard you,
Yeah.
So I think we get in our heads sometimes quite a bit. I will tell you, when I had some technical difficulties, though, I was in, this is back in my days of touring with Brian Culbertson. I toured with him 2013 and 2014, and I was playing in St. Lucia and with him, and broke a string in the middle of Say What, one of his really big hits, and it had all these melodies I was playing, and so I had to switch up and switch to a different string and play the melody, and it was like super stressful. And then we got done with the show, and I went up to Brian. I said, man, that was so crazy how I broke a string. He said, you did? So that's when I was like, oh, I guess I played it off pretty well.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it was like, I was freaking out.
I think one of the most challenging ones for myself, other than when I can never hear myself,
Yeah.
but is when we were in Colorado. Where were we at? Where we were like super high altitude.
Oh, Winter Park.
Winter Park.
Yeah,
oh
that
my
was hard.
goodness. It was so hard to sing because, the altitude is extremely, it's just a high level. And so the air is very thin. And I thought I was going to pass out when we were on stage. And then there was a point, because it was a show with Marcus Anderson.
Yeah.
And Marcus and I looked at each other, and we just were like, because, he's blowing air out into the horn and I'm blowing air out singing. And it just was really difficult, but we made it through.
And I never do this, but because it was a show, a collaborative show with me and Marcus, right after I did Can You Feel It, which is a big number if you've seen me live, and I do, jumping around all sorts of stuff, I had to take a break. I said, Marcus, you got it. And I went off stage and just sat down and rested while he did a song, and then I came back. So yeah, that was wild. The altitude is no joke up there.
Yes. This is so cute. So many people are saying, Kat, can you please come visit my house? That's so funny. You guys are so sweet.
Yeah, you got it going on.
But I think that's it. So many people, to recap, so many people loved Lynn. And I think Lynn is in the chats and watching right now.
What's
Hi,
up, Lynn? Appreciate you, man. Thanks again for coming through. And hope we make some more music soon, man. It was such a blast. That was one of the last shows we did before the shutdown. We played his Valentine's event, which he does each year. If you're anywhere near Detroit, check that out. It's an awesome event. And yeah, we did that, and about 2 weeks later, everything shut down.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, everyone loved Lynn. They loved the new song. So many people are excited about the new album, as am I, because I really enjoyed that release. It was great. And thank you guys so much for all of your well wishes and congratulations for our anniversary. with our June 13th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was definitely one for the books. We just took it easy and was just chill. And
yeah, just here at the crib. It was
chow
great.
down big.
Hey.
But yeah, it was fun. So that's it. I think for all of the. Oh, one more question.
Okay.
Someone asked, I think Keith Francis, he said, what's the worst string to break?
Ooh. Well, definitely, if it's one in the middle, it's really challenging because and that's what happened to me in St. Lucia. So I think I broke the third string. And so I was having to jump around that and find a different, string to play things on. It's not so bad if it's the high string because you just remember, I just can't use that, and you just use the lower ones. But when it's in the middle, it's pretty tricky because then you're jumping around. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, honey. We will see you next
Thanks,
week.
Guys. Bye.
And it is that time where I'm going to announce our guest for next week. And as you know, I really try to make an effort to bring to you, obviously, legendary artists, incredible musicians, but also new artists on the scene. And this gentleman, I only knew him from his new single, which sounded killer. And I kept hearing, I was like, who is this guy? I originally thought he was Italian from his name. He has Italian heritage, but he's actually in the UK, and his name is Roberto Restuccia. And we are both members of the PRS family. Paul Reed Smith Guitars. We're both endorsers and PRS artists. And so we also had that in common. He's an incredible player. If you listen to jazz radio, you've been hearing his new single, which was produced by Ollie Silk, another friend of the show. And so Roberto is going to drop in and perform a couple tunes, and we're going to get to know him a little bit. And that is next week, June 23rd, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Adam Hawley Artist Page. So I hope you all tune in. He's an incredible guitarist, and we're going to duel a little bit too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll remind you guys one more time, if you want to help out, click that link in the description. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. We've got stars. And, of course, if you want to be a part of the new project, which, as I mentioned, comes out September 10th, you can go to that link for Indiegogo. And we've got so many really cool perks that you can get. You can get the signed CD before it's released, so you can hear it before anybody else. Signed sheet music, VIP experience where you get to come to the show, get 2 tickets, and hang out during sound check and the band dinner, see what it's like to be on the road with me. Also, associate producer credit, liner note credit, all the way up to having me perform at your next event. I've had several people pick that in the past, and it's always fun. I come and do a show, especially for you. So appreciate you guys in advance. And if you already contributed, do me a favor and just share that with your buddies or share it on social media, and let's get this 4th record happening. So I got one more tune for you guys, and we're going to go back a few years to my second release, which came out in 2018. And in honor of Lynn being here, I thought it would be appropriate to play this tune. It's called Detroit. so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in for another episode of AH Live. Our special guest this week was Lin Rountree, and we have an incredible guitarist next week, Roberto Restuccia, all the way from the UK. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you next week. Have a great night.